You know they got that same name, but different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
Hey guys, it is episode 18. Episode 18.
9 plus 9.
18.
9 times 2.
18. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
I can count.
Keisha can count, girl. She done went to school and she done got an education, girl.
I got that rhythm, baby.
Well, welcome, guys. It is City Keisha and
Country Keisha.
And we're bringing you episode number 18. Now, listen now. We've been diligent for 18 weeks. 18 weeks is how many months, Key?
I don't know, girl.
You don't know? Well, you were doing good with the 9 plus 2.
No,
okay, yeah, well, that was too much. I got you did all you can do? You did all you can do?
That's, what? 4 months and 2 weeks. I got it.
Okay, you got it? You got it? Okay. Well, what are we talking about today, Key? I know we're going to do a little recap. Oh, before you even actually do the recap, because the first one on there is going to be a topic we're going to discuss briefly, but we are going to get together a group of women and actually see if we can come up with a show on this to like get some other views other than just our own.
Why?
Oh, God. Because that's what we're going to do.
Well,
so.
Anyway, before we get started, I want to thank City Keisha for taking me out on my birthday to the comedy show here at Next Level. It was fire. I had the best time.
Can I tell you, she came out the house with the tatas on display.
Woo. I brought them, baby.
With her legs hanging out. And if y'all have ever seen Keisha's little legs, she had her little legs all shiny.
Said, you need to stop talking about my damn legs. He ain't having it.
Your man.
My man said.
Oh, you got a man now, huh? Oh, you been had him. Okay.
He said you ain't letting you talk about my legs.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna tell you about that later.
Look, you know what? Your man, come see me. See me. Tell him that. How about that?
I tell him, but I had a great time. It was my birthday. I turned 25 for the 18th year.
Stop lying to these people now. We have to have some integrity.
You just said arithmetic. I turned 25 for the 18th year.
Oh, you adding stuff together.
Yeah,
okay.
To the 18th year.
All right. Okay.
Okay, we good. All right, let's jump into it because I'm telling you, I know we did the show with Carlos and it was great. Yeah. Carlos the cop. It was awesome.
He did.
I didn't even cuss.
You did not.
I was on my best behavior.
I told you that. I told you when I was editing the episode, I was like, she didn't even cuss. It took a cop to get us to agree and for you not to cuss. What is going on? And as much as we talk about the cops, clearly they doing something in our life.
Well, it was a full moon.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it was. Full moon and hails.
All right, let's get. I got a lot of flack.
Wait a minute. Now, were any of your children born on the full moon?
I don't know.
Oh, because DJ was, and I promise you, it was so packed in the hospital, and that's when I first heard about that, how most women go into labor on the full moon. She said the day before that, they had 2 people. That day I went in with DJ, it was 18 of us. Ooh. Actually, 2 of his classmates, we found out later in high school, was at the hospital being born the same day. Yeah, so, okay, go ahead.
That full moon. So I got a lot of flack about this girl code. It's too bad they didn't change my mind.
Listen. I don't know.
It's hilarious. Let me finish.
Okay.
You know what? I say stuff to the extreme. And I'm okay with it because I'm trying to really express something, but one of my friends had to break it down for me. She understood me. And she was like, you know, what you trying to say is you don't want your ex-husband and anybody can have him. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Anybody can have him.
All right.
I don't care if it's my mama.
Well, you know what? And like everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I was watching Queen Sugar, so if you haven't had a chance to watch it towards the end, well, at the end of the episode, Nova and Remy
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
No, I'm just saying they have a moment, and as a result, it reflects girl code. So we're going to talk about that. We'll give you guys time to catch up on it, and we'll talk about it another time. So, did you see that video with the white guy trying to do a citizen's arrest on this Muslim guy at this grocery store?
I saw it, and I didn't quite understand white guy's point.
I didn't either.
I'm wondering why Muslim guy didn't whoop white guy's ass.
Well, he tried to get by him a couple of times. He was a pretty thin dude, you know, and the other guy was a little intimidating. And the whole point was like, at first I thought, well, was he an employee trying to stop somebody from stealing? You know, like I was trying to like figure out what was going on, and there was no rhyme or reason to it. I guess only because he was Muslim. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like it was just totally.
I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. It's like you're just walking up to random people because you think they got a religion,
Yeah.
or they're a different nationality,
Isn't that
and
something?
you like, I'm gonna do a citizen's arrest.
Get out of here,
What law did I break?
man! Get your life.
So I saw this video on Facebook my friend posted, and it's everything I've been saying about these random people who are coming up to people saying crazy stuff. So this white guy came up to this black guy and told him to go back to Africa.
What?
Girl, that black guy picked up that bicycle, threw it at him, but while he was ducking the bicycle, he was on his head, bam, bam, bam. And then he flipped
I'm
him
not gonna
over.
laugh with
Then
you. I'm not.
Then
I'm
he
not.
was on top of him. He said, now you go somewhere. And I was like, that's the response.
You know
If
what?
Everybody responded like that.
Okay, but here's the deal though, because like I'm laughing because the white guy asked for it. So you know, if you, it
Both
wasn't
of
like
them.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying it wasn't like the black guy was just walking by and just picked him out of a crowd and decided to harass him. You welcomed that butt whooping.
Yes.
You welcomed that, and so I don't.
I said, I think it should be our response instead of just standing back videotaping. They're calling the police on me. Just go upside their head.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
Girl
promoted
was
it.
Serena Williams' husband. She said she wanted some Italian food. Now, when I say I want some Italian food, I'm headed to the Olive Garden, right? And that's if I get lucky. Her husband took her to Italy.
You got it like that.
That's what I'm talking about. You do your thing, Serena's husband.
Honey,
unlike-
I think he in love.
Listen, unlike Melania's husband, who got mad with her because she was watching CNN and Melania sent one used to tell the world she can watch what she want to watch on TV.
We already know about that relationship. She won't even hold his hand. She was smiling at Obama. And let's not forget, her husband take her to McDonald's.
Oh, God. Oh, no, he likes Kentucky Fried Chicken, doesn't he?
He
Or is it
like
McDonald's?
both. He like
okay,
both.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Vin Rames, and I know you guys have probably seen this, got the police called on him, and they came to his home. He opened up the door, and there was a red dot from a 9 millimeter pointed at his head. And he says, you know what if that had been my son, and in his hand he had his remote for his game.
Video game, yeah.
And they would have mistook it from something else. And it all came from some neighbor who said he breaking into his own house with keys? Come on.
Well, and I guess, and this is the question that I heard earlier in what the guy was saying. I would like to know what she saw to make her think that he was breaking in the house. And you know, when they went to the house, because they know where the call came from, you know, she denied ever making the call.
Correct. And I think at that point she should have been fined, because you know how when you were a kid, if you call,
false.
yeah, even with the ambulance or anybody else, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and then your parent could be fined for that, because now you're using city dollars when it. And so I think if they start finding them, because that's how white people respond. You hit them in their pocket.
Green.
Yeah.
Green is
Then
the
they-
color. It ain't black. It's green.
Well, Sanai, Latham will be on Netflix.
All right.
You and Monique's favorite little, okay, sorry. She'll be on Netflix with Napoli Ever After. I am not my hair.
I am not my hair. I keep telling people that's
Yeah.
what India.Arie said.
Yeah.
I am not my hair. I am
not my
the
hair.
soul that lives within. Let me tell you, somebody told me my hair I look like a slave.
What? For real?
I
Said you look like a slave?
I said I look like what God intended me to look like.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
No, that's
But you know
not
what?
sad, because we got it twisted.
Okay, and that's what I was just about to say. So
We got it twisted.
yeah, so people who have the money has created these images of what beauty looks like, and so our men are brainwashed, and they think that you got to have all
No,
that.
our
You know,
women-
my brother
our
is for
women-
real brainwashed. He makes me sick
No, but
because
our
he.
women are brainwashed because we think we have to look that way to be.
Well, if they saw me and you now, we do show.
Girl,
like
I'm
some
beautiful.
slaves.
God said
I got my hair twisted up.
He gonna
and you-
make a woman, and he made her just like me,
Yeah.
nappy-headed and all.
Cause
I'm
he
sorry.
told the man, he said, when you find a woman, you find it a what? A good thing.
A good thing. I won't say a
When a
healthy
man finds a woman, he finds a good thing. That's the word of God, and I believe
That's
that.
a good thing. And I mean, this is the thing. When you know your history and when you know your culture,
Yeah.
this is our natural hair.
Yeah.
And slaves wore natural hair.
Yeah.
And once they stopped being slaves, they started being Europeanized, the straight hair and the pinning up. And listen.
And I think we have to, in our own minds, start to like, because it took even me, you know, because just growing up, you wanted the straight hair and you wanted it long and flowy and da-da-da-da-da. And when I first started going natural, y'all know how y'all clown me, because I told y'all I was going to be on that creamy crack forever, baby.
You told me, yeah, I clown.
Yeah.
The thing, like with my mom, it's so traumatizing for little black girls because my hair, she would get it pressed and I'd go outside and play and they'd come back a full,
yeah.
and I get
the humidity
whipped,
hit you.
and I get whipped and like,
Yeah.
what did I do?
Right.
And my hair was not meant to be straight.
Yeah, it was not.
But that's why I'm like, you know what? I am in a happy place with my hair.
Okay.
So I don't care what nobody says.
There you go.
Yeah.
What you know, no good. What you got on what you know, no good?
Girl, I got a whole lot.
Okay.
So so tie
Megan.
bride.
Go ahead.
You want me to do the tie bride?
Yeah, that's fine. I thought you Meghan Markle. You don't gonna talk about the freckle tattoos?
No, we're gonna move it to the bottom, remember?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Girl, we be having these meetings.
Oh,
What?
Lord. Get to it. The Thai bride.
Okay,
Talk
this
about
Thai
the-
bride.
Now, Thai, you mean Thai, like Thailand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like Thailand.
Okay.
So this Thai bride married this economist from the United States.
Jerk.
And they were married for 10, 11 years. She stayed in Thai. He, commuted back and forth. And he got married in the United States to a white
Bigamist.
woman.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yo, don't be sorry. So he decided to try to break it off with the Thai bride, and she exposed the marriage and the kids on Facebook
He's like, no, boo, you got a wife and some churn
over her.
over her.
And so he sued her
Yeah?
in the United States, saying that she violated his privacy. The United States said, no, bro.
No, good.
That is not your privacy. That is your wife
Right,
and
hello.
your children.
Hello, don't make it what country she in. That's your wife and your children.
And now she moved to
He
the
just
United
greedy.
States.
Yes, I will move here and take over his house and everything. He just greedy. Like, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. And then get mad when you get caught. Like, what you doing? Get your
He
life.
said his privacy was violated.
Get your life, bro.
Because she exposed his other family. And that's what he said, because she exposed him.
Well, hello. You can't expose your husband.
But the sad part is,
Uh-huh.
listen at his terminology, exposed. So
Yeah.
you knew what you were doing was wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Well, let's talk about somebody who's doing something. Right, boo? 2 snaps. Yes. Ow, ow. That would be LeBron James. He
All
opens
right.
a public, not private, not charter, but a public school. So how about you, Ms. DeVos, who is our Secretary of Education, with all those dollars you got in your pocket, instead of you worrying about corporations and giving them money to open up charter and private schools, follow the leader, because clearly he's a leader. And LeBron has not only opened up a public school, he's going to provide for all the seniors who graduate. If they want to go to the University of Akron, they can go there
For free.
He's providing GED services and other services for parents who need them to help them get caught up on their education. A pantry, so on the
Food
weekend
pantry.
they can get food. They have 2 meals and a snack. I mean, just doing it.
Well, you remember the commentator that said that LeBron need to shut up and dribble? Thank God he didn't listen to that heifer. He got more. And see, you see how they think about black men? You just enough to entertain us. We
Hello.
don't want nothing else out of you.
But-
And LeBron said, I got a high school diploma.
Huh.
And I'm doing something more than you
Well,
are
I'm going to
doing.
tell you, I saw a picture with all these people who came out of Philadelphia, celebrities and stars. Even if you guys all collectively got together with your money and opened up a school in one of the inner cities up there, that would be amazing. So my challenge to
Philadelphia.
Will Smith and everybody else who come from up there, him, Kevin Hart, y'all put y'all money together and open up a public school. And if you don't know how to do it, you better call LeBron.
I like that. But I was going to say this about and it's wonderful that LeBron did it and we need it, but why isn't the government doing it? Why does it take?
Well,
a
that's the
private
votes.
citizen- No, but that's the point we're making.
Yeah.
You know,
we're going to talk about a little bit later why the government not doing it, because
why
the rich get
government-
richer.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, let's talk
so,
about it.
And I mean, it's a shame that the government should be making sure our public schools are great, but now, but
I
hey,
wonder if
teachers'
he
money is-
put a little
wow.
something in the teachers' pockets too.
Well, I think that the teachers are probably going to love working.
I know. Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying, you know, if he had a hand in that, because you know, what was that? Time he did that. I don't know if it stayed open. Yes, yeah. And it wasn't a public school though. It was a private school. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really he didn't have the right back.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it had met with a few scandals and stuff.
Yeah.
But he had the heart to do it. So I don't know. Maybe he needs to call LeBron.
King James.
Call him.
And say, may I speak to King James?
All right. Well, let's talk about this alienation of affection law. Now, it's still a thing. And there's still, I think it's 6 states that it affects. And it's there was a man in North Carolina who basically sued his wife, well, the lover, for, because of alienation of affection. And basically what that means is that defendants in these suits are often an adulterous spouse's lover, family members, counselors, therapists, religious members who have encouraged a spouse to get a divorce have also been sued for these matters. So if you encourage or you interfere with another person and it results in another married person, married couple, and you interfere and as a result of you, they get a divorce, that spouse can then sue you for alienation of affection because of this law.
That's Fantasia.
Okay, so it's still in Hawaii. Illinois, baby, my home state. Y'all better watch it. Mississippi, New Mexico, and North Carolina, South Dakota, and then, of course, Utah, which is probably ain't going to never leave there. But this man caught his wife with another man in a hotel and confronted them, and he was awarded $8.8 million.
Who got that money?
The lawyer, the lover ain't got that money, but I mean, of course, they probably pleaded down. But you better watch what you're doing if you're in one of those states, because that alienation of affection law is for real. They was like, you cannot draw my husband or my spouse away from me and stop them from wanting to be with me to be with you.
Well, that's what happened with Fantasia. And Fantasia had money. And she almost lost it on this lawsuit because she went into T-Mobile, met this guy at T-Mobile. He was married with children, and decided she wanted him. Remember? She wanted him. And he was married, and his wife filed that suit and had every right to.
Every right to.
It's the law.
Right. Don't be coming. You came to T-Mobile for a phone, not my husband. But anyway. All right, let's talk about.
Behind T-Mobile was a catch. When you were, that just tell you where some people come from.
He in the same company with Stevie J.
Stevie J and Faith Evans, because I'm still trying to figure out.
God.
Hey, not my rodeo, but dogs. And all they doing is posting.
Yeah.
This is a recipe for disaster. The more you post.
Are they posting? You've seen them post?
Instagram. All they doing is posting every 2 seconds.
Them two together?
The Jordans.
They
tagging the Jordans. The Jordans. The Jordans. And I'm like, oh my God, when this.
Well, you know, Stevie done had a bunch of kids, but he hadn't had a wife yet, so she still knew. She still knew. She a trophy wife. He thought,
No, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying what we said about putting all your stuff on social media. And y'all so new with this, that I'm really scared because this is all it's going to be. Is the social media relationship. How about the real relationship? You got to focus on what's outside. And right now, all they doing is posting. They want everybody to know they together. And it's mess. And as Faith said, ain't nobody was worried about her before. Don't worry about her now.
Including Country Keisha. Okay.
Hey.
So let's talk about some politics and news.
Hey, how about stay off Instagram?
Well, I mean, don't worry about it. You on Instagram posting what you want to post.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
You post what food. It don't matter.
No, that ain't what
Who want to see your food?
Hey, don't look.
Okay then. That's the same thing she's saying to you.
No, she's
mind your
saying
business.
To me. What she's saying is they the Jordans.
You know what?
And
how you gonna know what she's saying? She told you, don't be worried about her.
I read her post. It say we the Jordans.
Okay, so I put it like this. You posting the stuff you like, and she posting the stuff she like.
And it's her relationship.
That's fine. You got a relationship with food.
I sure do. And we not breaking up. And we've been together forever.
Okay then, maybe the food like stop posting me.
Maybe the food like I love you too, boo.
All right, let's talk about some politics. There was did you see that? It was a couple weeks ago, the waitress in Savannah.
Georgia.
Oh man, that dude grabbed her butt and she took and was like blah, blah, blah.
Were you jumping up screaming like I was? I was so happy. I was like, get him.
Get him.
Well, you know who he was there with. It's a strange wife who he to make up with.
Oh, God.
I mean, you're just a sleazeball. How you there with the wife you trying to get back together with, and the kids? I heard the kids were there, but I don't know. Ain't gonna reach and grab her butt while you walk by. That's just so nasty. When did it become okay to grab someone's butt that you didn't know?
Girl, come on, Keisha. It ain't never been okay, but people been doing it.
Well, and this time he got slammed.
There you go. That's what I'm.
And it was on video.
Listen, I'm on your side with that, but I'm just saying that's what, people try that out. Dudes, I should say, try it all the time. Now, I will tell you this, though. Hold on. I used to, years ago, work for a comedy club in Chicago in my early 20s. And they would always have these events. This is like when gay was still kind of in the closet, wasn't quite out yet. And this woman did that to me. And I about took her whole hand off.
What's your name?
I was like, what is the deal?
Not your stripper name.
Oh, God. Okay. Let's keep it moving.
Watch, I'm going to get a lot of flack about that comment.
Go ahead.
I don't care.
Go ahead.
So Black Thought is keeping Trayvon Martin's legacy alive with his Rest in Power video. Have you checked it out?
I have not. I don't even know who Black Thought is. No, I'm saying I am going to look at it.
He's a musician.
You know what? I might
know who
on
Black
Instagram.
Thought is.
No.
He wear a big fro and sometimes had a pick in it.
Oh.
He's part of a group.
Tribe Called Quest?
No.
Oh. Questlove? Because Questlove is...
No,
okay.
not just describe Questlove.
Yeah, you did. That's how I was like, sound like Questlove to me with the big fro and the pick in a band.
Black Thought.
Yeah. So you over here like, no.
He's a hip hop rapper.
And I'm
artist.
like, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he's doing that. And then I think it was Kaepernick that was with Trayvon's parents because they got that movie out now too. Yeah. So, okay. Nia Wilson. Let me say that again. Nia Wilson. She was stabbed and killed. Her throat was slit by a guy who had just gotten out of jail, and they think it was racially motivated. And her sister was stabbed, but she survived. And it's just unfortunate. This young girl, she was 20, 21 years old in the Bay Area a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, it's so sad. Like, it's getting so bad, all the racial, violent crimes and all the stuff that's going on, and
I wouldn't watch it. I
just pray for her family.
I was like, I can't even, and I didn't because it's disturbing. So what I told you, I've been trying to avoid some of this stuff. It's just it's really a lot, and it's senseless. It made no sense at all. What was she doing to you?
Nothing. And look, living her best life, and you had to come and
okay. God got a plan.
So your girl Valerie Jarrett,
and
Michelle Obama,
yes,
they're raising awareness to get out to vote and to register to vote. Now here for the primaries it ended, so you can't register. I think the last day was Sunday or Monday
to register.
Or to no, I think. It was something because at church they were doing it, and it was they were talking
last Saturday when we were out volunteering. Somebody won't let me sleep in. I ain't gonna say her name.
Oh my Lord.
She not gonna let me sleep in.
But anyway, they got this whole awareness campaign because they just really, it doesn't matter who you're voting for or what you're doing. Yeah. We just want you to vote. And I know that we hold some strong opinions about the current administration and what the things that they do and all that kind of stuff. And you can like it or not like it, but that we don't want that to just be our platform. We really want it to be where we can live in America where you do have the right to freedom of speech and to be able to vote for who you want, and all this stuff with Trump at his little rallies and got the people shouting against CNN and all this kind of stuff. I mean, like, it's just, and you got to think about that. A tyrant or someone who is a dictator wants to control the media. So the only people who he wants in places are people who are agreeing with him and doing the stuff he's doing. And that's just, it's unfortunate because then that means that you don't never hear the truth.
And you don't want to hear the truth because he's a certified liar.
Well, speaking of politicians, the spokesman, they spoke to Congressman Sean Maloney, who was outraged that they would not spend money to get tampons for Congresswomen and their aides. And I think he did this on, I can't remember, maybe one of the outlets, morning shows, whatever, and people started sending in boxes. So he had over 500 boxes of women products, and so now they're everywhere in baskets all over the.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then of course you got some of the men that was like, we don't want to see that, and we don't want this. Well, you know what? I know you want to see it if you mess around with somebody and look. Get your life. That's life.
And then your mama, that's how she had you, baby.
Well,
everybody came from a female, so
yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. So Jordan Davis's mother, Lucy McBath, won the Democratic primary for Georgia's 6th congressional district. And if you don't remember Jordan Davis, he was the one killed in Georgia for playing his loud music where this racist killed him. And yeah, nothing happened to him. So yeah, just all this stuff. So anyway, it was a big thing because it was right around Trayvon Martin and all that kind of stuff. And so his mother, you know, it's not going to affect some change. So I'm just excited, especially for the number of women who are like office, baby. It's about to be a.
I'm excited because I can say the best thing that happened with 45 being in office is that he's motivating.
Wait, back up. What now?
The best thing that happened for 45 being in office, he's motivating people to get off their tails. He's motivating people to say, I don't like this government, I'm going to run. And actually, and people are voting for these people because they are tired. Okay. And, unfortunately for 45, he thought he had the popular vote.
Oh, Jesus, bless his
people
heart.
are looking at this government and not seeing democracy.
Right.
And it's not so much of, I don't like your religion, I don't like your color. It's so much as let people live. We're here for each other. Right. So instead of that divisiveness that 45 in his administration has, more people are wanting to come back together. Okay. And get rid of this administration who can't seem to keep anybody in office anyway. Child, they need people. That's how he saved money.
Now I want to say this, sisters, I know that online dating is getting huge, and you know, you see these pictures, and you know these fine men, and Daniel Drayton. Have you seen this picture?
No. I'm laughing because you know I did online dating.
I know, but did you see Daniel Drayton's picture?
Yeah, I saw. He was alright.
I mean, but I'm just saying he didn't look like a troll, you know. No. And so he is wanted. Well, they put him in L.A. and actually, when they picked him up, he was actually beating and raping a woman.
Yeah,
but he had killed
her. Yeah.
They saved her. He killed the 29-year-old nurse back in Brooklyn, and he had raped his 23-year-old girlfriend as well. And she said that she had saw him with another woman, that he got mad at her and tried to choke her out. And so now he's, you know, playing this whole insanity thing, saying that there were voices that told him to do it and all this kind of stuff. And the ladies are like, no. He said he has suffered with schizophrenia and bipolar, but there's no record of that. He's ever been treated or whatever. So, you know, he's playing games. But he knew what he was doing. And it's just unfortunate that, you know, as women, you trust and you try to get in these relationships. And because the one girl was with him for 6 months.
Well, let me tell you my dating story. So this guy, I had this one rule. I first got on online dating a few years ago. So I was trying to get out there and date, and I had this guy. My rule was if someone asked me out, I just go, you know. So to get out of my comfort zone. Okay. And so this one guy called me like late night. All my friends know I'm not a late night person. You don't nobody call me at late night. And he called me, and I was trying to, you know, have a conversation with him, and he said something about how 45, well, not 45, but then candidate Donald Trump was a great candidate. I don't know how that woke me up, but I cussed him to every cuss word I could cuss him to. Hung up my phone. And then a few months later, I get this message saying, hey, I don't know what happened between us, but he forgot that I was the one who cussed him out. Oh, okay. Saying, was like, I really want to go out for coffee or something. And So we went out, and because I knew who he was. And I was like, I'm ready for his ass to say Trump. I'm going to whoop this motherfucker. And that's what my brother was like, don't go. No, I'm going. He invited me back to his house. Which I'm still, honestly, I had an ass whipping for him that I really want to unleash. And we're sitting there, we're talking, and then
you went back to his house?
Oh yeah, I want to whip his ass for real. I know.
Where were you going?
I was scared.
Clearly, like you meet some dude and go back to his house. You are a horror movie waiting to happen. Like
I was on my defense.
All right.
I wasn't there like, oh, we're together. I like him. No, I was there to cuss him out to his face.
It didn't matter.
So I leave, And he, we sat there and listened to music, and I left. But my thing was, this dating thing, it wasn't for me on this website. I was like,
I get it, but
I was ready to fight him. You weren't gonna strike, you weren't gonna rape and fight and murder me. That was in my head.
Okay.
I know,
Good,
you should
Jesus.
look at her.
Because I'm sitting here like you done went to this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, now I do want to talk about this for a second, and you know how I just can't. A lot of this political stuff, I'm so over it, and I know you tell me all the time that's what's going on in America. But when you take a group of African American males and put them in a room to talk with the president, and they're all men of the cloth, pastors and reverends, and they're trying to, for example, John Gray was in attendance, and I like John Gray because there's the book of John Gray on OWN, and then he has his church that he just took over in Carolina, where the guy came in that one church and killed those people. So he's really trying to make an impact in the Carolinas. And he said that, quoting Dr. King, we cannot influence a table that we are not seated at. Mm-hmm. So for him to go, that is not my beef. Okay, so let's be very clear about that.
Okay.
My beef is with Reverend Darrell Scott. He's a pastor in Cleveland, Ohio, and he's the co-founder of the President's National Diversity Coalition. Okay?
That's strike number one.
He says that Trump is the most pro-black president to do something for urban prison revitalization and prison reform. And he says the president before Trump act as though he didn't have to do anything because of who he was. And I felt like even if he wanted to say the part about Trump, he could have clearly not threw Obama under a bus.
Well,
I just have a problem with that. And we were talking about that because you were saying about another thing that we're going to talk about. Okay, make your statement, and if that's how you personally feel and you really think this dude who has always had an issue with people of color, and from the time he was a businessman and leasing his apartments out to doing everything else, now all of a sudden he's
not leased to black people.
That's what I meant. So now he's about to listen to Jesus and do all these type of things, and you would open your mouth and say he is the most pro-black president to do something?
Well, let me be very clear for this brother, Reverend, and I'm using the term loosely, Darrell Scott. Obama didn't have to prove that he was black. For number one, he was black when you saw him. He was black. He's still black. He was black when he was born. So when he says things like he's the most pro-black, what are you saying? Are you saying Obama wasn't black? Are you insane? And let's go even further with the man that you're praising. He had private prisoner owners meet at Mar-a-Lago, whatever the hell that.
Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, whatever. And they're all working against helping people in the system.
And we're going to talk about that because you know who they probably a part of.
They're making money.
Oh, yeah. So because if you think his dollars is going to get it, if he had a choice between his dollars and helping you, you better know, bruh.
No, if you think that's pro-black. That's how ignorant your ass is. Let's be clear. You don't know what pro-black is. I found out.
I knew it. I mean, it was like she was gearing up. I just knew it.
I found out lately that people don't understand stuff. They really don't understand the English language.
Well,
because when he's used pro-black, this is all out of context. Mm-hmm. How is he pro-black? He ain't been for blacks yet. Because pro mean you for me. When has he been?
Well, that's what he's trying to say. That.
No, but
and
that's
now
what
listen,
I'm
and this
his
is
history says.
And this is what he's hanging his head on. His Donald Trump's son-in-law, Kushner, is standing behind and focusing on the First Step Act. Mm-hmm. Now, it was passed by the House, and it stands as a short for Formerly Incarcerated Re-Enter Society Transformed Safety Transition Every Person Act. So basically, there's two ways, the front end for reform and the back end. They're working on the back end. So once you're already in prison, how can we reform you? So they're going to put over $50 million in the prison system, and they're going to use this money to provide vocational and educational services so that when they come out, they can transition into society and actually have a trade and can work or do that. But the issue still remains, especially with African Americans, is stopping them from even going there.
Well, we just talked about this last week with Carlos the cop, the stop and frisk, which is nothing but profiling. They're only looking at black men, and then they're arresting them for small, minute things, and then getting them in the system, and the system breaks them. And then now you're saying after the system breaks them, we're gonna try to fix you. No, how about not letting them get broken in the first place in this system? Because most of the charges are things that are just should never happen to a person.
Or they trumped up. You know what I'm saying? And then, like they said, 97% of the cases can't ever get tried. So these people are pleading guilty because you tell me, well, plead guilty and go to jail for 90 days, or 30, or you can risk going to jail for 30 years if we go to trial. Take me to trial because I ain't done nothing wrong, and let them prove I've done something wrong. But so many people, especially African American, when you're African American and you're poor.
The system is
you
not
take the plea deal.
us.
So you got all these people in jail taking plea deals, okay, because that's where the reform needs to happen. Let's go back. Now, mind you, it may not be a situation where you have to take every court to trial, but it should be arbitrated where if you're going to do something, set up all these new young attorneys and stuff like that, get them in positions where they can hear you know what I'm saying? And just, there's so many other things you could be doing with the money other than worrying about that. But anyway, so
we already know, we're on the same page, because the problem is, it's not the back end. The problem is the lies in the system from the front end. It wasn't designed for us. The system was designed to get as many black men and brown men into the system, so they're not able to be home with their wives and girlfriends and raising these kids. Well,
let's go a step further, because it's just a continuation. Like you just said, it was designed to put us in prison. So they would do these trumped up charges back when, right after the Emancipation Proclamation, they were trying to make money. And they wasn't going to get...
Not trying, they gonna make it.
Well, I'm just saying. And when that came to a halt, that was going to put their money to a halt. So what did they do? Start these trumped up charges against African Americans, because in the 13th Amendment, even though it says you can't enslave anybody unless they're in prison. So they start putting a bunch of them in prison to do that, and them rules have never changed.
That's what the museum is about in Montgomery, from slavery to mass incarceration. That you see, it goes from slavery to Jim Crow to mass incarceration. That's what we are now. That's what they mean. They just changed the name. And now it's called mass incarceration, but it's still slave.
We are
by
only
any other name, still a slave.
The United States is only have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of those incarcerated.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Those are the numbers. It just tells you it's a money business. It's not, and it's a inhumane business. It's not about trying to make the world better.
Wow.
And if you hear them talk, they're thinking, oh, I'm so afraid they're going to kill us all, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're the killers and the murderers.
Yeah.
We should be afraid of you.
Just and they bought to like the whole thing about the rape thing. I was trying to portray black men as, you know, as a threat, and they would rape their women and blah, 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 blah. But what were the white men doing forever?
To us.
During slavery. Oh, but okay. All right, so speaking of raping, good transition there.
Speaking of sexual assault, allegedly.
Okay, allegedly sexual assault and raping.
Your boy
from the city. Ara Kelly.
I muted his ass.
19
Y'all
minutes
keep listening to it. I'll hit the mute.
I know, but if you got to take 19 minutes to say anything, you're lying. That's what my granddaddy say. When you tell the truth, it comes just like that. If you got to do all that, you lie.
Got excuses.
It's called I admit.
Explanations.
It's called I admit.
He admitted.
He admitted everything except for he talked about stuff he done to his mama. He talked about everything in this song. It's crazy.
This is the thing about R. Kelly. He's a musical genius. I'm not going to ever take that away from him. But baby, your private life, when it spill over like this, you need to seek some help.
Were you with me when they were talking about the woman who finally broke free from him, and they were doing interviews with her and was saying how he was gay, and that he would have her watch him, have sex with men, and then when he would have sex with her, she would have to take, dildos and devices and put it in his behind in order for him to get aroused to have sex with him. Yeah, it was like crazy stuff. I was like, oh my God, it was.
I just remember R. Kelly from Aaliyah, from marrying her when she was 15, 16, whatever, and I don't know how she broke free, but thank God she did. And then the stories just kept coming after that. They never stopped. And I got to say this, everybody ain't lying.
Well, All right, so Floyd and 50 Cent have been having a little beef with each other, and apparently 50 Cent has challenged him to read a book, and he says instead of doing the ALS challenge, he tossed the water. I was like, I'll give him $750,000 if you read a book. And he had challenged him with a more difficult book. Then he took it down to Dr. Seuss or something. And
Harry
so,
Potter, then
yeah,
Dr. Seuss.
so
Oh,
Floyd got mad, of course, was posting receipts from his checks, and, you know, just men pissing, just grown men. Y'all need to get, I mean, come
grow
on.
up.
And Sierra with that level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Hey, but you know, wait, no, but I told you how Clifford gave me the real scoop on that. She remade that song. The song is called F It Up. F It Up. Yeah, so, I mean,
I'm good.
She redid it. And then little Miss Demi Lovato, like, I mean,
Heroin.
she had a drug overdose, and she has body imaging problems. She's bulimic, and oh my God, and she's only 25.
And what? See, this is the problem with the society. What is wrong with her body? I've never known her body to be. No, she's not super skinny, but she ain't never been no 200-pound, 300-pound woman.
Right.
Well, and seriously, I've had 3 babies. Child, if I'm putting on my bathing suit, I'm going to lay out on the beach like a beach whale. If you don't like it, don't look. And I am over it. I am over it for the rest of the world. I like the beach. And I know women that be like, I don't like showing my
that's
legs.
what they were saying about.
I don't like show, child, I like show everything.
Yeah. They were saying about European women and stuff, how they get out there, they be like, you better get your life. Look,
Okay.
I'm a beautiful woman. I'm a, you know, do my thing. It'll be an honor to be in a relationship with me.
I've heard people say,
And a
I'm not
privilege.
beach ready. I'm not beach, and it's like, you ain't ready. Because, and let me tell you, when I go to the beach, I see white women in all shapes and sizes, and black women are so self-conscious. It just does not do me good. I just sit there and go, why don't y'all come out? Enjoy yourself. Who cares?
I'm going to tell you who ain't worried about their bodies, them porn stars. Apparently, the 49ers quarterback went to dinner with her and they're friends, and he's gone out on a couple of dates with her, and the front office was like, no.
Mind your business, front office. Porn stars need dinner fucking tea.
She's saying, no, you better find something else to do. Just like, I know somebody.
For Stormy.
I know,
And she
you and your
getting
girl,
divorced.
Stormy. Oh, she was married?
Yeah.
What?
That happened 10 years ago with Trump. Her husband knew.
Oh, that's right. I think I did see that. Okay. All right. And somebody took a pickaxe and destroyed Donald Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Stars. So
I got a question.
He took, like, this is the second time now. No, third time. So he took it this time. And when I say took it to it,
I saw
laid
it.
it down,
Crumbled
y'all can
it
get
up.
my fingerprints, do whatever y'all need to do. But y'all don't put another one down here.
Well, let me say this to Donald Trump supporters who so sick of Hollywood and they can't stand Hollywood. Well, your boy been in Hollywood. He the #1 Hollywood want to put on the damn show. Have you ever listened? I read all their comments. I'm so sick of the people in Hollywood trying to tell us stuff. And I'm like, and they act like he's a businessman. No, he's a fucking character.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has a star in Hollywood.
He's playing all of them. He's playing them all.
He play himself.
No, I'm saying he's playing like,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying he played himself when his only character he's ever played was himself.
Right, but I'm talking about he playing the people.
Yeah, he playing them like a film.
Right.
And they turn around, he's a businessman. He's just like us. How the hell is he just like you? He ain't never had an honest day's work in his life. How is he like us? I'm serious.
Right. What's black a lacking? Girl, I know you banning power, but baby,
Yeah, you talk about
Kendrick
it.
Lamar
said
showed
Gator.
out.
You said Gator.
Yes, he did his Gator performance. It's like, Gator smoked your TV, mama. But yes, he did. And you know, afterwards they interviewed him, and she asked, the one woman who was interviewing him about power asked him, she says, what is the advice that you can give to, you know, people who are trying to break into this business and are trying to do some stuff? And he said to them, he was like, the one thing I can say that you should do is have some discipline. He's like, when nobody else is working, you working. When you know you got a part or you got a craft or you want to do something, be disciplined about it. And it kind of made me reflect even on our podcast, because I know what God is going to do with this and how this is going to take us past these jobs and all this other stuff we have. But it's been the discipline. When we made up our mind that one Saturday at the
Lake
IHOP,
Jackson.
Okay. And just, yeah, Eliza Jackson. Yeah, we said Eliza Jackson, yeah. And we decided we were going to do this. It's been 18 consecutive weeks. And I'm just proud of us for sticking to that. But he was talking about discipline and his part, like he plays this like kind of homeless, crackhead type of dude, and everybody had him in the neighborhood where, you know, nobody messed with him. You was like, they just who they are. You just kind of like loved on them for that reason. And she was saying, and for her, when he asked her, or I guess she gave her opinion, she says, talent, hard work, and a good personality. And she was saying, you can't do nothing about talent, but you can be the hardest working person and you can have a positive attitude.
Well, anything worth having is gonna work.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I think the problem in our society is we think things come instantly. Because you see the end result with Kendrick Lamar. You didn't see the work he put in to get there.
Right.
And even for us with the podcast, you guys get the end result, but you don't know what it took for us to get here. We've been talking about this for a minute. And then we decided December is when we first did a real show for us to listen to, but we didn't post it. And that was a good show, by the way. If you ever find that, you need to put that up for the giggles. But, yeah, that was fun. But it's been an idea, and then it's been really diligent for Keisha, because she's got the brain. I'm telling you, when I say the brain, I do not be joking. I got the looks.
Oh, Jesus. You know,
but the work is there.
You know what? And I've never tried to half-step stuff. My biggest issue is always getting involved in too many things and not being able to complete some things because of that, because I get so excited about stuff. And I love seeing people winning and excited about things. And the way my mind works, I'm constantly thinking about stuff. And I mean, I get it. Some people, you know, oh, you're doing too much, blah, blah, blah. But I remember, and I told you.
That, don't I?
I know, but I told you how I saw Maya Angelou, and she said that. She was like, don't ever let nobody tell you doing too much. You know, you living on this earth. If God is giving you those inspirations or giving you those things, you should do them. So I thank God for that, and Kendrick Lamar for his craft. And if you get a chance to his power, he threw down. I don't care what nobody say. All right, so it was this white contractor in Ohio who followed a black man home and called him the N-word, and then ended up out of a rage. It was road rage. They had gone back and forth with each other, and he did that. And now that racist rant ended his business, and according to him, ruined his life. So he was all crying and all upset about it.
And what do he want us to do? That was your decision to be an asshole.
Truly.
I mean, I don't understand. And we're talking about consequences. So, I know we've said this a few times about white people are losing their jobs over the most, didn't make sense to call the police, didn't make sense to put your nose in other folks' business. What are you doing? Because you think they did something wrong. Don't even know the law.
Right.
Look, Google it first. Right. That's my new thing. Google it.
Google it.
If it say barbecuing in the park, Google that shit and see if it's appropriate.
Ooh, Jesus.
Okay.
Okay, so even in talking about that, I want to talk about, I know some people, it's been a couple years since it's been out, but it's the 13th, 13th. It was a documentary by Ava DuVernay, and in that, she talks about ALEC, and ALEC is the American Legislative Exchange Council. And pretty much this council consists of politicians and corporations working together to enact laws.
Listen.
That's the cue behind it, okay? The only reason
I call it the 1%. You go ahead. It's called the 1%, but go ahead.
Okay, so the only reason ALEC has so much influence on state legislators and is able to get these laws passed all over the country is because of its roster of corporate sponsors. These companies should be held accountable for the laws that are passed thanks to the funding and prestige they lend to the organization.
So they lining pockets.
They lining pockets. So you had these companies, they sit down, and for example, there were a number of privatized prison companies that were a part of ALEC. Well, this was during the boom when President what's his name, Clinton, had the 3 strikes out and all that kind of stuff. Those were all the laws that were enacted by ALEC. The people were upset because they felt like crime was rising and everything, but they put these laws into place so that people, when they would go to jail, would leave. Well, what does that mean? That meant that the prison system's privatization was making money.
Making money.
Right.
Green. What color did we say they worried about? It ain't black.
It's definitely green. Think about this. Another thing they did, stand your ground. That was part of ALEC. Okay, they're banning living wages. ALEC claims to be a conservative group that stands for limited government, but the organization has worked to ban local and state governments from setting their own wage laws.
And let's talk about living wages. Let's just hold it right there for living wages. That affects everybody.
Right.
That, I mean, not the 1%, because you know they live way above living wages. But for the people, when we were talking about this welfare and minimum wage, and I brought this up that corporations are robbing the government. If you have a job and you still need government supplement, that means the corporation is the one that's using the system as a welfare. They're giving you a job, making you work, and you're working and earning money that you can't even use to feed yourself and take care of yourself.
Right, so this is what they're doing. They decided they will only use their tax money to hire contractors who pay living wages. And so with that, ALEC passed a bill to ban the city from being able to control its own wage limit. Okay?
Welcome to America.
Right. Crippling collective bargaining. When states and legislatures around the country started introducing right-to-work bills that would cripple unions, they weren't alone. Guess who was putting all these laws into place to get rid of these unions?
ALEC. And what was the unions there for? For the workers.
Yes.
To stop the corporations from ripping workers
off. Get educated, baby.
To give you a minimum hours for the week. So you know, so you're not doing all these and to get overtime. That's the other thing. So
let me tell you something.
It's just,
I know.
You need to listen to us.
Listen, privatizing our schools, school vouchers, a system where public taxpayers' money is used to line the pockets of private schools, are so unpopular that they only exist at a handful of school systems. While the idea is really shut down in national polling, guess who bought the law so that it can happen?
ALEC. And they're privatizing our school, giving us the very worst in education. And why they're making money.
Yep. So they were cutting money back from the public schools, and ALEC enacted a bill where they would take that money and give it to
the private schools, and it's not benefiting the people. It's only benefiting certain people. And I hate to see the vouchers. I mean, it really hurt my heart when people out there trying to get vouchers to get their kids into good schools. That's ridiculous.
Every school should be a good school.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's talk about the next one. Attacking voters' rights.
Yes.
ALEC authorized the model law inspiring numerous bills to enact erroneous voter ID registration that effectively disenfranchised millions of Americans who did not possess this special ID from voting.
And guess what? And that's another thing. And that's, okay, so I've worked the polls. And right before I stopped working, when I worked the polls, it's not the stripper pole, it's the voting poll.
The jury's still out on that. We're gonna need some more clarification later, but go ahead.
Anyway, so when I worked the polls, I was the lead inspector. And one of the things, I had to go to all these training classes, and right before I stopped doing it, they was getting ready to change all the voting laws. Like they needed to have this.
Right.
And it was so ridiculous.
No, it wasn't ridiculous. Yeah. It wasn't ridiculous. It was ALEC. Let's call it who it is. Okay.
Yeah, in the 1%. And what I was gonna say is what they did was, not only did you could not just come in with your driver's license, they were getting ready to start having all these extra pieces of paper you need to have. And if you're a citizen, come on. Driver's license should be enough.
I will tell you this. Again, ALEC stands for the American Legislative Exchange Council, and you know who our government is now. Can you imagine how he supports corporations and stuff? Can you imagine the stuff that's about to come down the pipe? Those are just some of the things that have happened over the years. Now, it's about to, we got to get involved. We have got to get involved because
we have got to get ALEC out of here. Yeah. We got to get ALEC out of here. Now, one of the things, I had an argument with somebody, and I guess because they don't understand what government is. corporations should not be running government. Government is for the people. Corporation is for profit.
Well,
government is supposed to be what?
Correct.
Non-profit.
Correct, but they're saying that they're not. They just work together to enact laws that's going to affect
benefits
private.
them.
I mean, I'm being facetious. Correct.
That
okay, so we're going to come back on ALEC and give you some more information on them, but you need to get educated on it, guys, so you'll know what you're voting on.
We're going to fight ALEC. Okay. I don't know how we need to get our listeners. We're going to fight ALEC.
Okay, let's do it and shut it down.
Shut it down.
All right, to be or not to be. You finally saw Acrimony, huh?
Girl, what I saw Acrimony and I was like, what?
Well, that's before you start talking about all the ins and outs of it. It was just one of those things where you went there expecting one thing for me, and it turned into, well, I really wanted this guy to win. Hold on now.
To me,
he loved his wife. Even though in the beginning he did cause some stress between that, but when he walked into that house and was just like, listen, I didn't want to take that money. I need you to just be with him, maybe right here, right, and it was just one of those things where I was just like, oh.
And then let me tell you what I was thinking about.
Listen now, because now this is, God says, what he has joined together, let no man put asunder.
And so this goes back to the last episode before Carlos, the cop, came, when you were saying you'll walk up and tell the girl, who is this and who you with? And I said, we need to mind your business. Her sister went out of her way with that bootleg wallet to cause all that trouble in their marriage. Mm-hmm. And she should have what? Mind her business.
No.
Yes, she should have minded. She caused, and that's what her downfall was. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna start from the beginning because I had an issue from the very jump.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just saying, you can't start from the beginning. You might have to come back next week and finish it up, okay? Just one more point.
My very point was, when you meet a man and he ain't got no car and you just coming to a lot of money, why would you buy him a $25,000 car?
Okay, so stop right there. Stop right there because we're going to come back.
You bought him an $800 hoopty.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
But here's the deal. I honestly think that this issue, like even with the acrimony thing, is something bigger that we, just like we did with Carlos, we need to have something with that, which would be good, and invite some other people. So we'll come back to that. But we will definitely get back to that. Dear future daughter-in-law, give your man some space.
I say no.
Give him some space.
I say stay up under him. Don't let him breathe. Ask my man. When I'm with him, he can't breathe.
God, Jesus. Okay. All right. Hey, Black Child. You can do what you want to do. Be what you want to be. We just learned that Malcolm X, girl, he has these unpublished portions of his civil rights activist biography. And then they just found, and they were like really controversial. And that ALEC Stay, who helped him publish his memoirs, told him not to put it in there because in 1965 he thought that people wasn't ready for it. And I'm excited because I want to read what it says.
Me too. And when they say really controversial, all I hear is the truth. Oh. That means he's speaking the truth.
Come on now.
People don't want to know the truth.
Don't want to know the truth.
Believe a lie. Ooh. So I want to know what the brother Malcolm was trying to tell us. I need to know.
I bet you it's
relevant because everything else that was happening in the 60s is relevant today.
There you go. Some make that connection.
They got a new law out with three black senators that's trying to pass a law that made lynching a hate crime. 2018 and we still talking about lynching. I'm like, damn, what year is this?
Oh my Jesus.
And it's still relevant.
Okay. Can you give us a little finance?
Okay, we're gonna go with finance. My boy Exhibit, what's up? He been on Empire. Oh. You know, he's been the brother on Empire. So he posted on Instagram on July 19, 2018, a receipt of him paying his taxes, $233,810. He explains that he let someone mismanage his funds, which took him almost a decade to straighten out.
Now, can I just say this real quick? Oprah say, sign all your own checks.
And today, he is debt-free and on top of his finances. So his post was explaining what happened to him, and he was like, he felt so proud to hand them that check, and he don't owe nobody nothing. And he was like, and he was saying, you know, which is what I've been saying to people here, is that you got to be proactive with your finances. Just because you're making it, somebody else will spend it. If you don't watch it, they know how to spend it, and it goes very fast.
Now, I will tell you, be very proud of your nephew, DJ Thomas. I was just having a conversation with him, and he says, Mama, it's the end of the summer. He says, I've worked. I'm about to stop working. He says, and I went and checked my account. He says, and he has 2 checking accounts, a savings account, and an Acorn account. So what he did was he linked his accounts to the Acorn account, so every time he buys something, whatever the change goes to the account, and he invests that money.
Yeah.
So he's been doing that, and he was like, Mom, I invested. He told me his 3 little investments he invested in right now and stuff or whatever. He's
I
like,
love it.
It's not a lot right now because, you know, he says, but like he said, if I go to the store and I spend $18.10, they take the 90 cents and they put it in Acorn and invest it. And so he was really excited about that. And so he's got like a nice little chunk in one checking. He was like, I can stop working.
Hey, hold on. Please do not go and try to rob my baby DJ because his mama done put all his business out there.
I did not say no
Hey,
numbers.
Don't be trying to rob my baby, but go ahead.
I did not say any numbers. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So, you know, but he's just excited about it. He was like, Mom, even when I checked it, you know, he says, he said, I just been real diligent about, you know, he said, and this is what he said, though. He says, I got some friends who, you know, basketball players who hang out with them or whatever, who smoke weed. He said they smoke weed at least 3-4 times a day. He says, now, how is it that you spending more money than me and you ain't even got no money? That's what he told me. He said, there's no way I can have a weed habit and I ain't got no money.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you this. I've never made a lot of money, but I noticed that people who made more money than me didn't have more money than what I had in the bank. They were spending just as much as they were.
And that's what he was saying.
Like,
so
one of my friends was like, you got more money in the bank.
Yeah,
I was like, because I ain't spending that.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's not about how much you make. Yeah. It's how you manage it.
How you manage it.
And that's what happened with Exhibit.
But
yeah, and the other thing was it's an app, almost like what you just described, the DJ called AlberTap. And it's ALBERTAPP app to track your spending, and it will give you advice. So it says stuff like this, like if you went to Starbucks, it'll say, did you really need that Starbucks? Do you know you spent $50 on Starbucks this week? And it'll give you the real numbers. You know how we be making up the numbers in our head? I ain't spent but $5. It'll say, no, you spent $50.
Yeah.
And you'll have to think, and it makes you think about your spending.
Right.
Not so much as your saving,
right,
but your spending.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right.
I like
so
some DJs I remember.
I thought I'd tell you that. From the educational perspective, getting ready for back to school. Now, besides school shopping, spending a bunch of money on clothes and stuff they don't need, school supplies, you know, which they need some, what are you doing to prepare your student? How are you preparing them mentally to deal with now having to, you know, go from just kicking it all summer to now you have to be in this classroom for 50 minutes a piece or however long, depending on what grade you're in. How are you encouraging them to get to know their teachers and their peers so they can have a better year? Are you setting any goals for the year for them? So last year, if they didn't do too well, are you guys setting goals? If they're headed off, you know, they're getting close to graduation, are you setting goals? If they're new to middle or elementary school, are you setting goals? Like, give them something to obtain. Write it down. Put it up on the mirror in the bathroom or put it up on the wall and maybe even attach something to it that if they meet that goal, and watch how their attitude and stuff change. And then tutoring and support plan. You know, okay, I know my child was not the best math person in the world, so I need to make sure I had some stuff set up for him. So you know this. Don't go into this year in yourself and get these grades in the first semester or whatever and be all upset about it. You know your kid not good at math, or you know your kid struggle with reading. So let's do this up front. Now, when you go in there and you get in the schedule and you go in and meet teachers to do whatever, automatically say to them, hey, what are your tutoring hours for math, or what are your tutoring hours for this? And then you can work your schedule around it because you know up front. So I just want to know, how are you preparing your kids to get back into school? And I know you're ready to take a break, and for, you know, I had to put Summertime Quiche on the shelf. I know, come Monday, I'm back at it. But, you know, so we got a few, ain't nobody got time for that. So this utility company, this lady had lost her password. They sent her a password to reset. And the temporary password was N-I-G-G-A. Nigga. Girl.
No, didn't we say nigga is never appropriate?
I'm going to tell you this. Serena Williams, anytime. Serena Williams was being, you know, drug tested more than any other pro athlete. Why? Because they want to know. They want to know how she whipping ass and walking away. And the other thing is, people are mimicking Meghan Markle's freckles. They're going to the tattoo artist and getting freckles. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that.
Remember how people hated freckles?
No. Anybody got time for that?
Remember how people hated freckles?
Okay.
Yeah, and now they going to get them.
And y'all watch our children. They got this hot water challenge that's been going on for a little bit, where they boiling water and tossing it on each other. I mean, come on.
Come on back to education. These some dumbass children. We
Girl.
need education because this is the stupidest shit. Hot water burns.
Let me tell you.
It takes skin off. Who the hell thought this made sense?
Had this baby in the hospital for 7 days because his friend heated some water up in the microwave and threw it on him while he
Just
was laying on the
stupid.
couch asleep.
And microwave is unholy hot.
Whole nother situation.
Unholy hot.
Okay, so I know we run a little bit over, but I did want to talk real quick about this. On Monday, I was in the car with one of my girlfriends, and we were at Starbucks. I grabbed something to drink, and we were leaving to go do something else. And I saw these two guys jump out their cars and was like, boom, right there in each other's face. So it was one was a black guy. He was kind of like put you in the mount of the rock, okay, black guy. And then it was a white. I'm just talking about his build. Come on now, chill. Let me finish. And then it was a younger guy who was biracial, you could tell, and he was with this white girl. And so the white girl instantly started mouthing at the mouth, and you could tell the brother, the older, because they were a younger couple, and the older black guy, he was pissed. So it was some type of road rage situation, and I mean, he was in this dude's face, and who was doing all the yapping? Little white chick. I mean, and we're taping you and blah, 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 blah. So that's what made me get out my car, because I was just like, we don't need another situation like this. So I was a good distance back, and I said, sir. And I said, you don't know me from a can of paint. And I said, but I saw this ensuing, and I was like, and I just think you can just get back in your car. We don't need this. We got enough stuff that we can deal with. And plus, I don't want this chick taping you doing something crazy. And he looked, and he was like, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm good, whatever. And she would not shut up. And she pissed me off so bad to where she was about to take me. Because I was like, listen, not only were you, and this is just, you could tell she ain't had no respect for the dude she was with, because had this dude unleashed on him, he would have mopped, I mean, like up and down the street. Like, I'm serious. Like, there was no way he wasn't going to get his butt whooped. So I was like, your girlfriend about to get your butt whooped because she can't be the hell quiet. And it just made me angry because, you know, and I know people talk about the black wax thing all the time, but I'm like, this woman she was not even, in my opinion, was looking at the safety of the dude she was with. Because he was going to get broke. So what, you taping it? He was still going to lose some teeth. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Don't this go back to all the white people that whether they were a black person or not? Don't they go back to the white people who calling on the black people, and you go, you losing your job, stop doing it. And every week we have a new story. Now this chick, I'm going to tell you, Keisha, I probably would have whooped her ass. Well, you over there talking about, dude, you thought she mouthing at the mouth, I would have been like, But I'm soft.
And that was
she the problem.
Well, but Keith, that's the reason why I jumped out of the car, because I saw her about to get this dude's butt whooped because she wanted to be. I mean, and she was like, I got this camera. I mean, all up in the man's face and everything. I was like, sit down somewhere. Like, you chill. You doing too much. From the outhouse
to the pit house.
We out.